It's what I call the totalitarian tiptoe. Very simple. You're going there to Z, but you're at A. And if you go in one leap, you know the change is going to be so vast, people are going to say, what's going on? So you go in as big a jump as you can, but you try not too big a jump that so many people will start to ask questions. And each jump is promoted and projected as unconnected to all the others. That's how the European Union, a centralized dictatorship now, was totalitarian tiptoed out of a free trade area. 75% of laws in Britain now originate in the European Union. And the European Union pass a law, a British Parliament or any other European Parliament pass a law, doesn't matter, that one takes precedent. They want the same in America with the North American Union, which Obama is going to be pushing. Fascism, you really think it would be this obvious? The stepping stone approach is what's got us this far, where so many stepping stones have now been made that it is becoming obvious to anyone with a mind. I'll quickly go through this because there's so much to get through, but it's like I say, I wish I had hours. The other coordinate is to understand that they want people to be a believer. They want people to believe in something, because once you have a belief system that is rigid, then you become less of a problem. They want religious belief systems, political belief systems, racial belief systems, self-identity belief systems, anything that puts you in a prison of the mind, because you'll then filter through this process of the way the neurons fire in the brain, you will filter reality through the belief system. Religions. In the end, religions are invariably, the major religions are worshipping the same force. It's not explained like that, but that's what goes on. Again, out of Atlantis and Lemuria, and then those civilizations that followed, the worshipping of the moon goddess and the sun god, the worshipping of the moon and the sun, was prevalent. And it manifested in various religions, not least from this part of the world, which, if you think about it, is the religion factory. Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, all came out of this part of the world, these major religions. And when you strip them down, they are invariably sun and moon worshipping religions. So in Babylon, they worshipped the Queen Semiramis, the sun goddess, Nimrod, known as Baal or Bel, the sun god, and Tammuz, who was the son, the virgin-born son of the moon goddess and the sun god. Tammuz later became known as Jesus in the Christian stories. And when this Babylonian trinity was taken to Rome, as the bloodlines moved to Rome and founded the Christian church, they changed the names, but basically the same religion remained. This is a depiction of the moon goddess and the sun god, the star, the sun there, which is an original depiction from Ur in what is now Iraq, Sumer, Babylon, from 2000 BC. And this is the international symbol of Islam to this day. When you get deeper into it, these are all different masks, again, on the same face of the moon and sun religions. This is Mormonism. In America, again, the sun and moon symbolism is all over their symbols in Salt Lake City, etc. So when you see Mother Mary and Jesus, what you're looking at is a depiction of Queen Semiramis, the goddess of Babylon, and Nimrod stroke Tammuz, because they said that Nimrod, when he died, became the sun god Baal and impregnated Semiramis with the rays of the sun. That's where the virgin birth comes from, and she gave birth to the reincarnation of Nimrod, which became known as Tammuz, and that's why in Christianity they talk about father and son being one, because that comes from the Babylonian symbolism of that. That's where Isis, the virgin mother of Egypt, and Horus, the sun in Egypt, comes from. It's the same recurring themes, and all across the world, the mother, the virgin mother, and the baby religions follow, and they all come from the same source, and because they project it in a different way, people think that they're different religions, but they're the same basic religion. Consciousness, I mean, this is the point I would stress. Consciousness doesn't do religion, mind does religion. And This is an ancient depiction of Queen Semiramis, the goddess of Babylon, and I think I've seen her somewhere else before. The Statue of Liberty, a mirror depiction of Queen Semiramis, was given to New York by French Freemasons in Paris who knew exactly what it represented, the goddess of Babylon. And there you go, and there's the mirror image of the Statue of Liberty on an island in the River Seine in Paris to this day. The goddess of the French Republic, same thing. The goddess Freedom on the top of the Capitol building, same thing. The goddess Columbia, the goddess of the District of Columbia, same thing. In the Vatican, because of course the Roman Church is the Church of Babylon relocated, and they use different names for the same stories, they depicted Semiramis in Babylon as a dove, and of course Nimrod was the sun, and this is, you see in the Vatican, the dove and the sun, that's Semiramis and Nimrod, same thing. So Nimrod was the sun god, and you see him all over the place as well. The symbol of Nimrod in Babylon was the flame or the lighted torch. And that's why the Statue of Liberty is holding a lighted torch, the torch of Nimrod, and he's actually standing, when you see from above, on a depiction of the sun. And that, you see, the way they manipulate reality and sense of reality, Americans, understandably, look to the Statue of Liberty as a symbol of their freedom when it's a symbol of their enslavement. Same thing, holding Nimrod. And this is an exact and massive depiction of the flame held by the Statue of Liberty, and that's on top of the Pont d'Alma tunnel, and that's now where people take their tributes to Princess Diana, who died underneath it. Another way that Nimrod was depicted was as Dagon, the fish god. This is an original depiction from thousands of years ago, and that's just a kind of, obviously, a knocked-up symbol of it, and that's why we have this. Dagon, the fish god, the mitre, it's all the same symbolism of symbolizing Nimrod. The obelisks you find all over the place, the biggest obelisk in the world is the Washington Memorial opposite the White House. That's the penis of Nimrod Osiris, going back to that symbolism of the Credo necklace too. Nimrod aircraft, all the same things. And the religions were taken across the world and expanded, and they became the religious network that we have today, which ironically fight each other when actually they're all different masks on the same face, which ultimately connect into the same network. Same with the New Age. So much of the New Age is just the same manipulation. I call the New Age the last cul-de-sac before the gold mine. People who've rejected mainstream religion and rejected this world is all there is science, and are looking into things of vibration and stuff like that and spirituality in another way, you've got to stop them, get into the gold mine. So you want a cul-de-sac to get them into, and it's become known as the New Age. And they also worship, and again, anything to do with this network is always, reptilian brain, hierarchical. And so we have hierarchical structures of power within the New Age structure of beings and entities and great white brotherhoods. It's all hierarchy. Consciousness doesn't do hierarchy. Mind does hierarchy. If you're into hierarchy, you're in mind, you're not in consciousness. Simple things. You can see whether it's consciousness or not. And I love that the New Age Jesus, Sananda, looks exactly like the Jesus depicted by the Renaissance painters who hadn't got a clue what he bloody looked like anyway. So the idea is to use religion to keep people in mind and stop them connecting to consciousness. Because when you start talking about consciousness and the way consciousness sees the world, religions go, you can't say that, that's the devil. And all the rest of it, and fright people into acquiescing to rules and regulations of these religions. And again, in the end, all these religions, you go through them and you're providing sustenance, energetic sustenance for the same entities. The same entities. It's a very true saying. Energy goes where attention goes, and worship is a really focused form of attention. And so when we're in worship, focusing on a deity, we might think the deity represents something, but it represents something else. Attention goes where, or energy flows where attention goes. 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 I mean, what an image for a religion to focus on. Someone being tortured. What are we doing? Think about it. What an image to focus a religion on. And like I say, religion is mind. That's why it's so schism-like, fractured. And they create them so they can play them off against each other. Trust Jesus. We know the truth. No, Judaism knows the truth. No, Islam knows the truth. No, this knows the truth.